Hello, everyone, and welcome to another ProBetus podcast. My name's Savanah, and I'm your host today. Today, we are doing another Giving Hearts Day feature, and I have Tim joining me from the Anne Carlsen Center. Tim, I'll let you introduce yourself to everyone.
Very good. I appreciate that, Savannah, and just want to take time to thank you for having us on and giving me the opportunity to share a little bit more about what we do at Ann Carlson. My name is Tim Eisinger. I'm the CEO. I had the privilege of serving at Ann Carlson since 2014, so coming up on 10 years, and it's truly been the highlight of my career to be involved. I'd spent the previous 30 years in psychiatric residential treatment. I thought I was in the best possible role I could ever be in, and I couldn't be further. I couldn't be further from the truth. So it's absolutely fantastic to be working with an organization like Ann Carlson.
Awesome. Yeah. Wow. And congratulations on almost 10 years. That's
Thank you.
super exciting. I had the privilege of getting to know Anne Carlsen Center a little bit better over the last few months with collaborating on you guys on one of your events. But one thing I didn't know is how many locations you have and all of the things that you guys do. Would you mind telling us a little bit about what Anne Carlsen Center does and kind of expanding there?
Yeah, absolutely. And it's a really important question, Savannah, because a lot of people, when they first conceptualize Ann Carlson, they know of our rich history in Jamestown, where the center was originally based. And, 10, 15 years ago, Ann Carlson Board of Directors really said we need to diversify and ensure that the individuals we're serving residentially in Jamestown, they're going to return to their home communities. And how do we best support them? And so it kind of put us on a trajectory. So we're now in 8 locations in North Dakota. And it's just really been fun to be able to expand into those and extend and add new services to the portfolio we offer as an organization. Um,
Yeah.
and we offer an incredibly broad cross section of services. Um, Most people would know or understand our work. Um, Over the last 80 plus years has been focused on primarily with children, adolescents, young adults with intellectual and developmental disabilities and delays. So we continue to offer those residential services with our primary program in Jamestown, which we are a couple months away from celebrating our new campus construction called our Pathways Project. And we are just so excited to be able to update that dated facility. The one we had operated in was started in 1941, so it's just really
Oh,
fantastic to bring a nice modern flair and state-of-the-art treatment interventions to those individuals. But in addition to those residential programs, we've developed a really large early intervention program
okay.
serving children birth to 3. We have a nationally accredited school. We offer residential and outpatient-based physical therapy, occupational therapy, and speech therapy services. We've got a growing behavioral health and autism diagnostics and support services program as well. And we complement that with a pretty wide range of home and community-based services. So, it's a pretty comprehensive and broad spectrum of services, but we like the ability to provide that because we can uniquely adapt to the needs of the families we serve, as opposed to having them adapt to the services we offer. So, very, very proud of both the growth that we've added, the capacity that we've added, and the diversity in the communities, and being much more of a regional presence.
Yeah, it's absolutely incredible. And it seems like the list just keeps going on and on. As y'all are learning more about what the needs are of those communities, you're bringing in those services to support them.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think we often feel we're just scratching the surface on those needs. I mean, the and Carlson mission statement is we exist to make the world a more inclusive place where independence is a gift to all. And there's just a lot of areas where there's a struggle to basically understand that there are no basic differences between people. There are differing abilities and potential,
Hmm.
and people need not be judgmental if they just took the time to know and understand. there are no basic differences. And as Dr. Ann taught us in her living examples, always look to abilities and potential first. You know,
Yeah.
you set the bar so low, you're not able to form those critical relationships when you see disabilities first. And she set such a great example for us to make sure that we're always looking for the potential of people first.
That's so incredible. And yeah, yeah. As the more I learn and the more I'm just like, whoa. And I've seen a few pictures of your new location in Jamestown. I haven't had the pleasure of visiting yet, but it looks absolutely gorgeous. And I'm sure your family members and residents and the community are just so excited to have that open and going.
Yeah, yeah, I'm incredibly excited. And like I had said before, it's state of the art. We're going to offer things, enhancements to the services we currently offer. You know, one of the primary ones was in our existing campus. We often had, especially for those individuals with medically complex needs, where we'd have to group children in rooms anywhere from 1 to 3 children per room. And so now it's all focused on single rooms so that they have the privacy and supports that are necessary. We can introduce the ability to give more access to families and and people who are really interested in the care of their loved ones, and it's it's going to be a game changer for us for sure.
That's incredible. And did you guys get any of your influence or inspiration from other centers like Anne Carlsen throughout the country, or where does that grow from?
Well, that's a fascinating question too, because surprisingly, there are relatively few um,
Oh, very cool.
facilities that really encompass. It's not as if there aren't services that work with intellectual and developmental disabilities or autism or individuals with medically complex needs, but the unique interplay that we have with the on-site residential school, a nationally accredited school, with the on-site therapy services that are integrated in it. I mean, we do vocational work. There are just so many integrated components. So we're relatively unique in the country.
Yeah,
And I'd have to say that we the architect we work with, JLG, out of Fargo, did an exceptional job kind of capturing what we saw as an integrated vision and how we could take each of those separate services we offer and integrate that into a living experience that really is pretty seamless. And we expect it to be far more effective. You can have your residential, your therapy services, and your educational programming in one site that's really going to, I think, make a significant difference in the lives of those we serve there.
that's incredible. So to be a first mover really is impactful, and I think it speaks to the forward thinking that we have here in North Dakota that maybe we're not recognized for all the time. However, with even being very rural, we have such huge advancements through technology and resources that are coming. And this is a perfect testament to that, whether it be in the tech sector, in the healthcare, in the mental health. It's just inspiring to see all the good that y'all are doing.
Thank you, and I really appreciate you saying that. It is true. As staff from Ann Carlson travel around the country to training and conferences and those types of things, you know, we've typically expected to go out and learn. You know, okay, these are organizations much larger and state of the art, and we're
Yeah,
surprised at the number of times we're asked to teach because of the creative and innovative strategies that we've been able to implement in North Dakota. We had our national accreditor come through. We're on a 4 year accreditation cycle, and they were on their third year review, and we got a chance to give. They're from Colorado. They
okay.
came through, reviewed our setting, and said, "You're going to need to hire a full-time staff just giving tours for other organizations around the country who are going to want to see the innovative design and implementation you brought." So I think your comments are 100% on point, that there are a lot of immensely creative, strategic, well thought out implementations in North Dakota that I think are can be and should be the envy of the country.
Yes, and the influence and the impact that something like what you're doing over at Anne Carlsen Center can do for our entire state as far as, that added resource. There are a lot of families who don't know where to turn, maybe if they've been blessed with these challenges and they're not sure where to take the next step to, and to look to a state that has such a skilled center
Yeah.
and an economy and maybe a little bit safer of a lifestyle if they're coming from somewhere bigger. I think for us to be able to bring that value to them is huge.
You bet. There's a lot of advantages here.
Yeah. And so if people are wondering, maybe they know someone close to them who might have a child who needs your services, what's the best way to approach the Ann Carlson Center if you're not sure where to start or if you're not sure if you're the right fit? How do they get started?
Yeah. Well, and it depends. A lot of them are working potentially with their physician or their medical team, and so they may enter the system via private referral. They might come through. Physician might make a recommendation to consult with a developmental disabilities case manager, and it's just really exploring and aligning with where they see the unique needs of the individual served, what kind of supports might be necessary, and they help redirect them to the potential facility that can best provide those services. But certainly, if people are just exploring, and I think that that's probably one of the more critical steps is helping families get as educated as possible about what are the options available. And certainly, Ann Carlson promotes the least restrictive options that are possible, as well as ones that help ensure that they maintain a constructive engagement relationship with the family. Um, even for Ann Carlson, for as much as I believe in the services that we offer, we're never intended to replace the families of these loved ones. And we work very hard as an organization to make sure that they remain integrated and engaged with their family as much as we possibly can. And then project to discharge them and put them back in their home community or in their home area as quickly as we can as well.
Very nice. As you spoke on individual care, so care to the whether they're doing inpatient or outpatient with Ann Carlson, is there also like you talked a lot about the family and going back there? Do you provide services and classes that integrate kind of child with parent in those trainings, or how does that work?
Well, we do some of that on our own, and then we also are strong proponents of family advocacy groups in the state of North Dakota. And so it's easy to make some strong connections with other entities so that they're with like parents and they can compare notes about their experiences and as well as options and opportunities in North Dakota.
Awesome. And this is all about Giving Hearts Day. And so, for those of you who don't know about Giving Hearts Day, it's one day in the month of February. It's February 8th this year, where North Dakota and Minnesota charities have the opportunity to raise extra dollars. So, there's nice promotions and all kind of generous donors who do matches and all the good stuff like that. But many times, charities or nonprofits are raising monies for a certain area of it. Is Ann Carlson doing that? Are you guys raising for any specific?
Yeah, we've kind of finalized specifically this year to focus on the resources being applied to our spiritual life programming. Um, Spiritual life in our system of care is not recognized as an allowable cost, um, but we see it as a very important part of treating the whole person and supporting the whole family. So we're going to target whatever we might be able to get from Giving Hearts Day to our spiritual life program, primarily to our spiritual life programming. We have other programs that aren't necessarily reimbursed, like our I Can Bike program that helps teach individuals who might never have had the opportunity to ride a bike before to have an intensive week-long camp where we teach that skill and offer a new level of independence. We offer a techno camp where we help people become more acquainted with technology, especially those technology elements that help people foster better independence, either in their own home, apartment, or community. We do things like host a prom at the Anne Carlsen Center. I mean, there are a lot of things that these donor dollars help support for the organization, and this year we're going to principally focus on spiritual life.
Very cool. And I love that it's spiritual life, so non-denominational, I'm guessing,
Correct.
just very inclusive.
Absolutely. Yes.
Excellent. Oh, that's so great. Well, thank you for your time. Is there any more you'd like to share with everyone about Ann Carlson? How can they get a hold of you?
Yeah, I would just direct people to anncarlsen.org. So that's ANNECARLSEN.org. And I would just really encourage people, if you've never yet heard the story of Dr. Ann, just an amazing lady who really set the bar really high for advocacy for people with intellectual and developmental disabilities. She's recognized in the Theodore Roughrider Hall of Fame here in North Dakota. She was awarded national honors by Vice President Nixon. I mean, she really set the bar high, but I just love the fact that she set the standard of giving people an opportunity, get to know all people, see abilities before you see disabilities, and help people discover their true potential. And there's background on Dr. Ann. There's more information about our programs, and certainly anyone ever wanting to reach out, maybe they want a tour of our new facility or want to learn more, feel free to give me my contact information's on the website as well, and we'd love to reach out, maybe do some speaking engagements, and continue to spread the good word of the great work of Ann Carlsen.
Yes, I love that so much, and thank you for sharing all that. I know personally I need to go read the full story. I caught a bit of it
Mm,
on your website, but I have to go deep dive in. Now I'm just inspired, and my cup is filled all the way to the top with this good
fantastic.
word. Awesome. Well, thank you again, Tim. You have a great rest of your day.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me on, Savannah. Take
Yeah.
care.
Cheers.